Welcome to another edition of Rust Rants. I'm John Rust, and I come on and go off about, well, whatever's honking me off today. The U.S. women's national team made it to the knockout stage of the World Cup, but they barely made it there. In fact, they made it to the knockout stage in spite of themselves. In their 3 games so far, they beat Vietnam 3-0, tied 1-1 with the Netherlands, the home country of my favorite singer in the world, Floor Jansen of Nightwish. Then they played to a 0-0 draw with Portugal, who I heard the U.S. was 10-0 all-time against them before that match. Now, you'd think after all of that, the U.S. team would be wiping their brows going, whew, we barely made it into the next stage of the World Cup. We got to do better if we want to win the whole thing. Well, from their behavior immediately after that draw with Portugal, it doesn't look like it. Right after that lackluster performance, members of the U.S. women's team were dancing and smiling and taking selfies with the fan. If they had won the game, well, that would be a non-issue. But they didn't. They scored 0 points against a Portugal squad making its first appearance in the World Cup, a squad that is considered one of the weakest teams in Western Europe. I mean, this should have been a rout for the U.S., and when the players of the U.S. team acted like they had just won big time, that did not sit well with one of their former players. Carli Lloyd played for the women's national team for 17 years and won 2 World Cups with them. She's now working as an analyst for Fox during the World Cup, and boy, oh boy, she launched a verbal salvo at her former team, a salvo akin to the U.S. Navy bombarding Iwo Jima during World War II. This is from the New York Post. Lloyd said, quote, "I have never witnessed something like that. There's a difference between being respectful of the fans and saying hello to your family. But to be dancing, to be smiling, I mean, the player of the match was that post. You were lucky to not be going home right now," end quote. And for those not aware, what she meant by the player of the match was the post, well, Portugal had a great opportunity to score, but the ball dinged off the post in a metallurgy save. Borrowing a term from hockey there. Oh, but Lloyd was not done with her criticism of the U.S. national team. She went on to say, quote, "It is no longer we want to win because we want to win. No, we want everything that comes with winning, and we think we can just roll out and win games. That's not the case, and teams see that. They see the arrogance in the U.S. and see that they're not this unstoppable team. They see that they're able to be broken down and beaten," end quote. Now, the U.S. women's national team coach, he kind of clapped back at Lloyd, saying it's insane to doubt his players' drive to want to win. But when you play the number 21 ranked team to a 0-0 draw, I think those doubts are legitimate, especially when they're expressed by someone who helped the U.S. win 2 World Cups like Carli Lloyd. Now, as far as interacting with fans after a loss, well, I see that right here in the Prescott area with our indoor football team, the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Win or lose, fans are invited onto the field after games to get autographs and pics with the players. And yes, the players are professional and accommodating to those fans, but you can definitely tell there's a different vibe to the team after a loss compared to after a win. And there have also been times when the local high school and college coaches here see their players act happy-go-lucky right after a bad loss, and guess what? They call them out on it. And I have been there on the field and on the court on occasion to see that with my own eyes. And again, We're talking about high schools and colleges in a relatively small town in the mountains of northern Arizona. Stuff like that should not be happening on a stage the size of the Women's World Cup. Now, whether the national team's coach called out his players on their behavior after that draw with Portugal, I honestly don't know. But if he didn't, he darn well should have. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Rust Rants. Be sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe across all of KYCA's social media. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out on KYCA.info. Be sure to smash the like button, leave a comment, share this video. Again, leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say about this video. Till next time, I'm John Rust. I will see you soon.